Do you know you can make a difference? I have tonight as my interview subject none other than my daughter, Kaylee Sweeney, who happened to surprise me for a 2-day visit before she heads off for about 4 months to visit and travel around 3 different continents. But when she came in, she brought these, and I was so amazed by them I wanted to share. Kaylee, tell the audience what these are and where they came from.
Sure. So these are actually newspaper clippings turned into necklaces made by the lovely women of a village called Kayakasengulu. It's in Uganda. And I went to the village in January as an extension of a class that I was taking, hoping to help the women there help themselves. So this is the beginning of a sustainable business model that we hope to see will grow so that they can use the funds to help their children and future generations emerge out of poverty and, grow.
Okay. And the interesting thing about them is that I thought you were going to go to help them, but you said those women really didn't want you to do things for them. What did they want you to do?
So they really wanted us to help them help themselves. The second day we were in the village, they called together a community meeting with all the women in the village, and you can read books or you can watch documentaries about the plight of women around the world and say like, okay, well that's a far off place, but it's a completely different story when somebody looks you straight in the eye and tells you that they have HIV, their husband died of HIV, they have 9 children, they have to walk 10 miles every day to get water, and their village is just ridden with disease and poverty. And so they, instead of asking for a handout like we expected they might, they really asked that we be able to help them so they can help themselves and help their children. So that's why we brought these back to the States, and we're hoping to sell them, and all the proceeds go back into community development initiatives, and that will, at least we hope, spawn off other community development initiatives and help build the village. So give them clean water and greater food supply.
Who knows what else?
Who knows what else?
You mentioned the piggery. They're going to have pigs.
Yeah, so it's really up to them. We can't decide for them. In order to make a project succeed, we think it has to be community driven because obviously they're the ones who have to live with it.
Yeah. Well, some of you are out there thinking, you've got to be kidding. I have no intention of going to help people or make a difference in Africa. I would have to think twice about going to Africa. I've already been there once. I may go back again, but it's not necessarily on the top of my list. But in your case, do you realize you can make a difference? Your difference may be right next door. You may have a neighbor or a neighbor's child that could really use something you have. Maybe it's encouragement. Maybe it's some skill that you can help them develop. There might be a community center in your neighborhood that needs some assistance. It could be anything in your world. But the important thing to know is that there are people who, if you are willing to share yourself, you can help them grow and help improve the world that you are living in. So I hope that looking at these beads will give you some inspiration to know that even if women in Africa who really had nothing come up with creative ways to take magazines and turn them into beads, that you can find interesting ways to help other people. So here we go. This has been Maura with you, but this time it's not just Maura, it's Maura and Kaylee, and we are both for you. Take care. Bye-bye.